Yo, YouTube, what's going on, y'all? Um, I checked my phone a minute ago, and somebody left a comment on one of my older videos, and they were wondering, why did I choose flatbed? So, there's actually a story behind that. I didn't actually choose it, but I have chosen to stick with it. But basically, when it's about 2018, 2019, when I was looking for trucking schools. Um, I started looking for schools that would pay you for training, and Rail was one of the first schools I found. Um, I think Prime was another one, and then I might have found another one, but I decided to go with Rail. So um, basically, when I got connected with a recruiter, he was saying that they were hiring flatbed drivers because they needed flatbed drivers, right? Now, at the time, I probably could have said, well, I don't want to do flatbed, I want to do drive-in. They probably could have made something happen, but honestly, I was coming off of a physical labor job, and I didn't care. I was just trying to get my CDLs. It didn't matter if I was doing flatbed or drive-in. And then they told me too that flatbed makes more, so I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So basically, that's how that happened. I didn't really choose it. It just that's who they said they were hiring at the time, were flatbed drivers. So but I did decide to stick with it. And it was hard at first. I had to get used to securement and all that, doing different type of securements, doing tarping. I had to get used to doing that. I actually, no diss to my trainer, but my trainer didn't really show me how to tarp correctly. There's actually a local guy who I ran into at one of the shippers. I think I was someplace in Illinois, like a little bit outside of Chicago. I ran into a guy, and he showed me how to tarp the right way. So I've been using his technique ever since. But it took me a while, to learn, the flatbed game as far as securement and all that stuff. So I just decided to stick with it. Now, I actually made a video a while ago about the time that they put me on drive-in by accident. My fleet manager had quit, and I think she just I think she wasn't looking over things, and she sent me a drive-in low, and she actually quit like that next day. So I think she was just doing whatever. But it took them a couple weeks to get me off drive-in because this happened around Thanksgiving, and I was going home like the next week, so they got me home and told me when I came back out they'd get me on flatbed. So but my time doing the drive-in, it was just, I didn't really like it. The whole vibe was different. Even going to the shippers were different. People seemed a little more stressed. The drivers seemed a little more stressed. It's actually the first time I seen two truckers about to fight each other, and I was just like, yo, like, what's going on? So because we don't be having that energy at, you go to these flatbed places. It's like, I'm not saying you don't run into some funny stuff and because I made videos about that, so I'm not saying you don't run into some funny stuff, but it was just a whole different vibe. So I was just like, man, I don't like, I didn't really like the drive-in, and it was just we do a lot of driving period as truck drivers, but it just seemed like I was in that truck just all the time, and it just got on my nerves. I was just like, man, like, all I'm doing is driving, because literally you pull up to a shipper, you go check in, they tell you which door to back up to, you back up to the door, and if it's a good one, they load you, you're in and out of there in like 20 minutes, because they just load you real quick. Guy come out, hands you the paperwork, you slide your tandem, shut the door, and you down the road. Like, so I mean, that's a good thing, that to be in and out that quick. But like I said, it just seemed like I was just in this truck all the time. Like, at least flatbed, you get out and you might have to do some securement, you get to move around. It might take you, depending on the load, it might take you, if it's just straps, it might take you 10-20 minutes. If it's strapping and tarping, it might take you 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how big the load is. And if you got to throw chains and all tarps and stuff, like, who knows, it could hour 30 minutes, who knows. So at least you get outside and get some type of movement. But drive-in was literally just drive, back it up to the dock, drive some more. And then the appointments were real tight. Like, you would pick up a load, and then they would want you to get the load there. You'd have to drive 800 miles, and they wanted you to get the load there early the next morning. So you would have to drive till your clock run out, go to sleep, get up after your 10 hours, and to drive some more. Which I do most of the time anyways. I get up after my 10 hours and drive. I don't do it all the time, especially, if I got like an appointment or something, and they say you can't get there, like you have to arrive, you can only arrive an hour before or something. If it's some type of rule like that, then, I don't do it. But I try to wake up after my 10 hours. But yeah, y'all, so that's why I know I rambled on, but that's why I chose flatbed. I didn't really choose it, just kind of happened, but I did choose to stick with it. So but yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate my subscribers, appreciate the people who comment and like my videos. Thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.